or QT Marshall, pardon me, going at Jimmy Korderas, and people just in general going at Jimmy Korderas over, at Blood and Guts. There was an unprotected chair shot to Jack Perry by Mark Briscoe. And as we see this week, what's the outcome? Mark Briscoe's just in a 6-man tag with no story. So this guy's talking about, Darby and Jack Perry hate each other. That guy who is telling me all the storylines, right? Darby and Jack Perry hate each other so much, so blah, blah, blah. So why didn't Darby crack him with the chair instead of light him on fire? And be like, like the movie The Punisher, where he's like sticking the popsicle on the guy's back, but he's telling him it's a blowtorch. So the guy thinks his skin's melting off, and he's like, I was just with you, Why didn't Darby do that if he's the one who hates him so much? Because exactly, these are nonsensical, non-stories. Mark Briscoe cracks Jack Perry with the chair, and then all of a sudden, Mark Briscoe's just the Ring of Honor champion in a trios with Orange Cassidy and Ishii called the Conglomerate next week, and it has nothing to do with it. So what's the point of that? Like, that's not a story, my friend. So that guy talking that, boom, I just blew up that whole Perry Allen narrative, right? And even just that little thing I added would have made it so much better and would have made your dumb make-believe story make sense. Because that's what I do. Do you know why? Because I'm a writer, okay? That's why I'm not just talking out my ass here. I edit other people. It's what I do every day. So listen to me. There was a shaved down gimmicked chair, a gimmicked chair shot, apparently. The chair shot was gimmicked. Awful points out. He goes, well, why haven't we heard anything from Khan or Jack Perry or Mark Briscoe? Because they all know that this whole narrative that it was a gimmicked chair we talked about it last week, but we're diving in more because Jimmy Korderas posts this video of him in a ring and going, quick lesson, thank you, and good night, because he was outraged by the chair shot to the head. Now, I said, I don't care about the chair shot to the head. I think that you should do it when it's going to mean something. You should do it, and then someone should get color. You shouldn't do it at the end of a crazy hardcore match where people are being slammed on tacks and everything. You should do it at like All In when it's going to be like a memorable moment where Allen hates Jack Perry so much, he's going to light him on fire. No, he just crushes him with the chair. And then there's a moment for your big pay-per-view. But no, they just do it on this meaningless. It didn't get more heat on Perry. It didn't get more heat on Allen. It didn't get more heat on Briscoe because he's the one who actually hit him with the chair. It didn't elevate Perry. Perry doesn't have heat like they make believe. They try and talk like he's Dominic Mysterio. He's not. He went to Chicago right after that footage aired for a New Japan show, and they booed him one time. Awesome. That's not a lot of heat, dude. He doesn't really have heat like that. And so the chair shot did nothing. But I personally don't care if it's once in a while and it's meaningful. Do a head chair shot. Gimmick the chair. I don't care. That's all. My response to this is simple. You can never win this argument when people are taking unprotected shots to the head with a chair because it's 2024. They find CTE in runners now. They say you shouldn't even shake your kids on their knees when they're kids, right? You shouldn't even do. Now, I'm not talking like shaking a baby, but like, you sit a kid on your knee, like a baby or whatever, and you ups and down. You throw your baby up in the air. You apparently not even supposed to be doing that. Is what this research is. It's an accumulative thing that people garner over time. Okay, everyone gets it. They find CT and runners and from their brains just shaking around in there. So you can't win the argument with people outrage culture and if you smash someone in the head with metal, gimmicked or not, a chair. So, that would be the argument. So I'm okay with it because they're all willing and they're all adults. And if they consent to, okay. I know it's dumb, but dude, I live in Canada. You can agree to delete yourself in a little pod, dude. You can do that. So, hey, man, the world's a crazy place, whatever. All I'm saying is that if you're outraged and like by grown adult men agreeing to take a chair shot for entertainment, okay, then you have to say we have to ban all stuntmen and we have to ban all pro wrestling and we have to ban all hockey and football. I swear to God, that's the side you're on if that's what you believe, because and I agree. Let's not just start chair shotting people with chairs to the head. I agree. We can't be doing that, but you can't be outraged by people agreeing to take some head trauma because that's every sport. ever. That's every wrestler. That's every stunt guy. Cirque du Soleil guys, I'm sure, getting CTE. Maybe not as bad, right? But all I'm saying is that I just stand on the side of as long as they all consent to it. But do I agree with like creatively? Was it a good? No, it was stupid. And Jack Barry's a dump, and it just reminded everybody that he's a dump. Now, Jimmy Korderas. Well, Chris Connor, really quickly, what's your thoughts on the unprotected chair shot to the head?
I remember it's going on Marvin the Movie Monsters podcast, which I remember talking to about just CTE, concussions, brain trauma, just in boxing, and how seeing guys after boxing taking all the headshots and all the some of these retired guys who Gerald McCollums, the Muhammad Ali's, Meldrick Taylors, and they could barely speak after all these. And we've seen guys, ask Tommy Dreamer, and he feels terrible, after the chair shots he gave to Raven and how Raven's had, terrible medical history. He blames himself. The Rock and the chair shots he gave to Mick Foley. Mick Foley has said he feels it afterwards and his health issues. Even, you go on to people like, even Dreamer has said he's had issues with, taking some of these chair shots. So we've seen it. I mean, Chris Nowitzki, did seminars and went to TNA guys, and they were in tears after hearing, these side effects and realizing that, this is going to, this has taken like years off our lives because of what we've done and some of the stuff we've taken. So we've all become smarter of how CTE has affected us, and we're not even talking about the NFL and everything we've learned from them. So there's no excuse for AEW guys to go in there and go, oh yeah, let's just take chair shots. You can't gimmick steel chairs. There is no way you can just shave down metal. There's no way. It's been proven. I don't care what QT Marshall says. I know he's, getting paid very well by AEW, but he can just stop, kissing ass to Tony. I have said before, somebody's going to die in AEW. It's just a matter of almost when now. And the fact that
so grim.
We've seen. I mean, we nearly saw Will Ospreay get laid on his neck and nearly crippled because of a ill-advised hurricane. We've seen poor Bryan Danielson at times almost looks like Joe Biden in terms of where the hell is he? I don't know.
God.
This is all because AEW has no idea. They can't do what the hell. They can't protect themselves. It's a bunch of idiots at times who are going, oh, let's just do whatever the hell we want. They're piss poor trained, and at some point,
there's no training.
Said, this company is going to just they're going to do something stupid. And as I said, because an idiot's in charge. And as I said, that whole crap show that was that cage show, I just kept watching, going, somebody's going to get killed. And that chair shot to me was like the last straw. I was like, I'm done. I'm done watching AEW. I am done watching this company.
So, I don't know. Here's Jimmy Korderas, at Jimmy Korderas, legendary SmackDown referee, WWE referee in general. Here we go. He goes, quick lesson, thank you, and good night. So here's his thoughts on the unprotected chair shot.
Steel chair. Guess what? It's not gimmicked. You know why? Because you can't gimmick these things. So get it out of your head. It isn't possible. If it's made of wood, maybe you could shave it down a little bit, but guess what? Steel chairs, that's what you get. Thank you.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can shave down screws and shave down the metal and replace the seat of it with tin or something. I don't know. Obviously, QT has some conspiracy because not a conspiracy. I'm just being an asshole. But QT Marshall says you have zero clue what you're speaking of. I'm being such a dick today. If you would like, you can come to AEW and we can show you what we do to protect the talent, or you can continue to be ignorant. Take your pick. Like, what an asshole. Like, come on, dude. You can be a baby and an asshole. Come on, QT. Like, relax, dude. But you can come to AEW. We can show you what we do. No, dude. Tony won't let him there. Or you can continue to be ignorant. So, okay, I guess, like, Ignorant to what, man? How you guys like loosen the screw or like replace the metal with less metally metal? Well, we know what they did because Cody Rhodes breaks it down. Cody Rhodes, who's boys with QT Marshall. Okay? He breaks it down, and he did this a long time ago when they did the gimmick chair and it Cody up and gave him the stitches and concussed him, and Sean Spears got heat for it, okay? The sickos go after Korderas, and then you have QT, not backtracking, but just saying, for the record, I'm not mad at Korderas. I'm not mad at anyone for having an opinion on chair shots. My argument was that he didn't understand how we gimmick a chair. I've sent him the DM. The fact he's even tweeting this to the public pisses me off, guys. What the happened to pro wrestling?
You what?
I've sent him the DM. He responded. End of it. He's earned the right to get the DM, which is true. DM sent because because Korderas said he can DM me and explain this all. Still waiting how they do it. So now I would love to see Korderas's response. Like, yeah, that DM was a load of horse pucky. I'd love to see his response to that. But the sickos just go after Korderas, and Marshall's just responding to people like, why does every AEW personality have to get offended with what somebody says? And then Marshall says, I'm not offended by what he said. I'm just telling him he's wrong and I can prove why. But like, no, you do. Did he smash a chair in his head or no? Oh, it's like a magic trick, like David Copperfield. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't care. I'm okay with the chair shot. This isn't my battle, but it's just like the sickos go after QT. Then he's like, well, just for the record, I'm not down with you guys going after him so hard. It's like, well, then why'd you do this? Why didn't you just DM him to begin with? And then QT says, responds to this guy and says, you haven't earned the right to be in the know. If you cringe on that, good. It's our job to make you feel what we are feeling. Okay, yeah, whatever. My argument is the chair. Stick to the topic. The chair, yeah, whatever. He's just responding to every random person. Now, we know how he gimmicked this because this happened before, guys. Meltzer said what? Sent it right to you, boy. Okay? The GOAT. This is from 2020. When Rhodes took the chair shot from Sean Spears, sliced himself up. Rhodes clarified that they tried to gimmick the chair, but said they didn't actually know how to do so. Now, also remind you, now I'm not saying Briscoe doesn't know how to throw a chair around, all right? He's probably the guy, if anybody, in the match who does know how to do that. But remember, Jade Cargill tells the story, yeah, they tell me go out there and hit him with the chair, and I'm backstage, like, no one's talking to me, and Punk comes up to me and is like, whoa, let me tell you how to do this before you just go throwing chairs at people. So this is just more Bush League. So anyways, Cody didn't actually know how to rig it, or whoever told him. Who was it? The guy who rigged the exploding barbed wire ring? He didn't know what he was doing either. So whoever's rigging and gimmicking around there, they don't know what they're doing. But anyways, AEW's EVP Rhodes said no matter what happened, he told Tony Khan to say it was a gimmick chair, which is where it all came from. So we don't even know. This is Cody now. I'll give him an X-Files, all the black helicopters, because Cody's saying, listen, no matter what happened, just tell Tony it was gimmicked. So it's the same thing here. Tony's probably in on the work. I'm in on it. I'm one of the boys. That's great. Me and Goofy and Pete the Cat and all of them.
Now, quick question, though. Who's telling the story, though?
Well, this is from Cody's own mouth. Like, it gets explained. Cody Rhodes on chair shot incident, Moxley's involvement and what went wrong. So that's coming from Cody's own mouth saying they didn't know what they were doing. And look, I'll read the quote. I told him, Sean Spears, to swing from the side. And the last words I told him were swing for the fences. And when I landed, I don't know if you can make it out on the camera shot, but when I landed, my head is so stiff from the shot that I land the awkward landing. When you have two falls, I muttered swing for the fences. Yeah, that's called being concussed and rocked. That's called being rocked and noodle-legged. Rhodes clarified that they tried to gimmick the chair, but said they didn't actually know how to do so. So, and like, I love Cody, but thank God he's not there anymore.
Dummy. Yeah.
The former TNT champion states that AEW security guard Charlie, who saved Moxley from a fan invasion at All Out, was head of the props division and fired that same day due to the way the chair incident went down. So they fired this dude over the Cody Rhodes one, man. Okay. Detailing that the chair was supposed to be sanded down to the thickness of a cookie sheet. So they did it again here now? Like, is that, yeah, hey, the guy who set Undertaker on fire, let's bring him back for this special occasion, this special WrestleMania. We need to light Kane's arm on fire for this Inferno match. Let's bring the guy who accidentally burned. Like, what's going on here? So they try the same thing. They shave it down or what? It was supposed to be shaved down to a cookie sheet. Okay. Or is this a lie you guys are telling now? No, someone got fired over it. So like, this is nonsense, dude. Rhodes said he wanted two marked with a piece of tape to make sure they worked and were identifiable, and said Tony Khan was adamant that he was taking a chair shot with it. So Tony Khan was like, no, you got to do it. Trust me. It'll be shaved down to a cookie sheet. Mama's cookies. Chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, time cup. Man, so we have a history of this, guys. History repeats itself. And then we have more about that. And this is the Young Bucks as well. No one be putting this stuff together. Chat, you with me? There we go.
Chair shot before. So you've got to explain this to me.
That was brand new.
Yeah.
Cody was working on that for a good month, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
What was supposed to happen?
Well, the chair, it was the middle of it was so soft. Well, not soft.
They sanded
it's still
down,
metal.
right?
But yeah, it was so thin, I should say. It should have probably broke over his head if it was right in the middle of it. The edge of it happened to nail him in the back of the head, and that's what cut him up. And
So the chair would have folded over. He would have been wearing the chair on his head.
and it would have been easier than like it would have felt like what were those
Like
those
a cookie
cooking sheets that yeah, it was as thin as that. So it should have been like that, but it didn't.
So, hit him at the wrong angle and busted him open.
Yeah,
Is Cody okay?
yeah, he's all right.
He's okay. He
He
got
had staples.
I heard it
but-
was a dozen, but I guess he said it was
10 or
10
12,
10
something around
staples.
there.
Yeah.
but he's
10 staples in his head. Yeah, he's all right.
all right. He's okay. No
It definitely
concussion.
caught him though. Like he was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was.
Lesson learned.
Well, then there's a bunch of fans going, well, he got hit on this side and he was bleeding on the other side. It's like, well, obviously the lip of the chair
Yeah.
caught him.
Yeah. The lip caught him and it got him good. So
It's too bad. But either way, we knew it would carry controversy.
we warned him. And,
Yeah, we
we were
warned
like,
him.
this is gonna be a big thing. And I mean, and it was, and it had its effect, and it worked. But I'm just glad he's okay. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's scary. Anything with
There's
you're messing
risk
with
for
your brain,
yeah,
man.
oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
freaky. Everyone was freaked out either way.
Do
I'm
you-
just glad he's okay.
Do you think that that'd be a spot you guys would try again? Maybe not, this
I
weekend.
don't-
if
I wouldn't
Fallen.
have tried it in the beginning, in the first place. If
He's in the match where it happened again, where Briscoe, and then they put the heat on Briscoe. Yeah, you do it, man.
What?
Briscoe's like,
What?
They're like, yeah, we want to do this again. You do it, though.
Cody, maybe
I don't
maybe
think
Cody.
Tony
I don't know.
will allow that.
Yeah, he was
again,
pretty
yeah.
upset about it.
Oh, no, I was very upset, but I'll allow it again. We gimmick the chair again.
Really?
Yeah.
But wouldn't he have to have the okay?
Yeah, but I think they were hoping that it would go down differently.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Not as a botch of the way it went down.
Is there a chain of command? Like, is Tony the last
Tony
person
is,
that's okay?
yeah. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for saying that, but that's not true. I mean, actually, my publicist is telling me to tell you guys that is actually true. I guess.
So everything goes through him.
Yeah.
Everything goes through.
So if has there been ideas that have been run up the ladder? I guess to Tony, he goes, I don't think so, guys.
Usually he's really flexible.
Yeah.
Like it is collaborative, but yeah, like if you're gonna get if anything actually ends up happening on that show, Tony has heard about the idea.
Oh, wow.
Or he's
cleared it.
okay to, yeah,
He's
yeah.
okayed it. But Tony,
That's an indictment on Tony Khan looking back, if there ever were one. Right there. So bickety bam. We just blew the whole case wide open, I guess. I don't know. No one just broke that all down for you guys the way I did it. So Chris Connor, your thoughts on all of this, I guess. In hindsight, history repeats itself. Jack Perry's okay. He didn't get sliced open or get staples, but he's a dumb for doing that, I suppose. And like, it didn't work in the past, and Tony was outraged, but now he's just willing to do it again. It just seems to me like there's a lot of flippy floppy fake phoniness going on. back there, you know? Hypocrisy.
This started all the way back when Tony backed the Young Bucks. I mean, this started back when when Tony chose the Bucks over Cody. This is when it started. When all the way back when Tony took over the booking and he told when Cody it was either the Cody's way or the Bucks way, and he chose the Bucks way. And then when he backed the Bucks over CM Punk, he's for whatever reason it's always been the Young Bucks have just they have his ear, and so why is it any different now?
So Dave Meltzer, let's play another flute. Dave Meltzer moment of the week here. Meltzer says, I know he deleted the post, but I was, I was thinking the same thing. So basically, Corey Graves deleted the post about the chair shot. Pro Wrestle Clips on YouTube. Check it out. You guys will know. And Dave Meltzer said, I know he deleted this post, but I was thinking the same thing. Even with a shaved down chair, there are far too many wrestlers over the decades who had issues in later in life. Let alone Graves, whose career ended due to concussions. It's not a tribal thing. It's just something non-needed in today's pro wrestling. And Dave actually had a smart moment there. I agree. It isn't needed. I'm also not against it. I already said my piece on it, but Dave with a smart moment.